What's up, everyone? First and foremost, I want to thank each and every one of you for checking out this video. Hopefully, I provide you with some content that, gets a like, gets a share, gets a subscribe. I'm going to continue doing certain videos like this, different games, everything like that. But right now, let's dive into some Madden 20. It's that time of the year when EA Sports releases its annual Madden game, and it's that time of year when players get excited for the new version. Everyone seems to forget all the bad things from the previous games. Everyone seems to be on the same boat agreeing that gameplay feels refreshed. The features have been catching everyone's eyes. Everybody's got their attention on the new game, and anticipation for the new release is hyped so much that people start believing and telling themselves, this is the year EA did it. This is the year that EA finally delivers us a game that every football fan can be proud of and can enjoy. Is that the case with Madden 20? Did EA finally deliver gamers a football game that we all want, or did they pull the wool over everyone's eyes once again? Let's dive right into it. Take a look at the big selling point this year, which is X Factors. On the surface, X Factors seems like a great idea. Separating the game's star players from the average ones has been something that people have been asking for years. In the past, playing with quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers felt no different than playing with someone like Joe Flacco. Playing with LeSean McCoy felt no different than playing with LeGarrette Blount. That's the main reason why I personally have never really understood the hype around MUT, Madden Ultimate Team, because the players all play the same. There's nothing that separates them. Barry Sanders should not feel like every other running back in the league, but he did. These X Factors look to eliminate that, and on paper, it seems like Madden has finally done something new to invigorate the game. But is it new? The answer is no. Plain and simple, no. Madden has done this before. This isn't some great idea that EA finally struck gold with. It's been done in older versions of Madden. Heck, it's even been done in other games. Madden's main competition, All Pro Football 2K8, did it, and did it better. And that game is 12 years old. But I'm not here to praise 2K and bash Madden. I'm here to show you just what the X Factors are and what they were, and provide you with a good glimpse at what they can and what they should be. We start off with the pass rush. I think it was the biggest focal point of these X Factors because, let's face it, QBs had way too much time to throw in years past. And from the beta feedback, certain players got way too comfortable with 6, 7, and even 10 seconds to throw. Now, however, you need to make your reads quick and get rid of the ball quicker, as you can see in different Madden versions. Madden 08 for the PS3 and Xbox 360, and we've even seen them on the PS2 version of Madden 07. As I stated before, even All-Pro 2K8 had them, and had way more variations. 2K took it a step further and had a ton of abilities for offensive linemen as well. Because let's be honest, Madden is focused on the big play, on the sexy play. Trenches aren't sexy. Trenches aren't fancy, but they're a huge part of the game of football and need to be given the proper attention. As Madden has progressed, they've changed up how they present these abilities. In Madden 07, they were given to us as more of a living, breathing world in franchise mode. Player roles in Madden 07 for the PS2 were decided based on proper stat tracking that were connected with parameters each player would have to meet in order to earn the role and keep the role. After each season, the game would calculate every player and remove, assign, or keep roles for players based on what they did that past season. That made the off-season with contract signings, free agent signings, draft picks, roster building, everything became that much more intriguing and in-depth. You had to deal with players that were upset about playing time. You had to look at players that maybe didn't perform and lost a role. So now how do you go about re-signing them? Are they worth the money? Do you cut them because they're not living up to the contract they signed? Can you trade a player now? Maybe he underperformed and now his trade value has dropped. When Madden 2008 came around, the PS3 version dropped these roles for a more archaic version that were now called weapons. Gone was the in-depth franchise mode, proper stat tracking, and organic world. In its place was a more casual player format that catered to players that just wanted to play the game but still wanted to feel like they were playing with the stars of the NFL. The player weapons were dropped almost as fast as they appeared, and for years, players played through Madden year after year after year with the same complaint. All the players feel the same. There is no difference between the stars and the bottom of the roster guys. Madden 20 has changed that by reintroducing the same concept from 12 years ago, but repackaging it. They've missed the mark. Instead of going back to the roots and providing players with an organic, living, fictional NFL world, they've kept to the same business formula of appealing to the casual masses. Fantasy football players that only care about the SportsCenter big play highlights. What they've done is neglected the key component of what made this feature exciting and interesting. So much more can be done with the X Factor abilities to keep them from becoming a gimmicky power-up that turns the game into a cartoon. Madden has to go back to its roots and combine the modern take of this idea with the old-school version and truly make the X Factor abilities a game-changing feature. What EA and the developers for Madden are doing right now is they are pushing the X Factor abilities as if they're a groundbreaking idea that gaming has never seen. Madden 07 had its flaws, Madden 08 had its flaws, even All-Pro had its flaws, and Madden 20 for sure will have its flaws. But they all have good ideas. Some executed better than others, but the concept is there. The idea is there, and they're going in the right direction. While the X Factor abilities affect single player and maybe the one defender or one offensive player, weapons and player roles affected the game. They affected teammates and opponents as opposed to just the single player. They would give ratings boosts to teammates and even cause ratings to drop versus an opponent. For example, a shutdown corner would affect the quarterback's accuracy and the wide receiver route running and catching. Madden 20 does get the thumbs up in certain areas, however, from its predecessors because certain players have been given more abilities that are linked to their position. While not at the level of All-Pro 2K8, it still does a nice job of giving us more than previous versions of Madden. Rather than having a generic role that fits for one position, such as the running back, you have several different X Factor abilities that tie in for certain types of running backs. Madden 20 nails it in that aspect. I would say, however, the biggest issue with the X Factor abilities is that they're limited to a per-game basis. There aren't any season-long X Factor abilities, and they don't carry over to the next game. In previous Maddens, certain player roles lasted the entire season, whether it was a positive role or a negative role, and it could very well be detrimental to the rest of your team. For example, the team distraction role will decrease your entire team's morale and awareness by 1 point every few weeks until he's either cut, traded, or given what he wants. Things like this add to my point of the player roles being more in-depth, more universal, more organic, and frankly more groundbreaking than the X Factors. Looking at it as a whole, I applaud EA for taking this step and attempting to bring a new way to label the players and separate the stars, even if it isn't a brand new concept. Hopefully, EA can stay out of its own way and continue to build on this instead of stumbling all over themselves trying to reinvent the wheel or scrapping it all together. I'd like to see in the future more X Factor abilities for each position in general, more specific abilities that tie to certain player archetypes, and I'd like to see every single position represented. I think that if EA really commits to the X Factor feature, eliminates having so many tied to animations, and has them affect not only the player in one game, but the team throughout the season as well, we would truly be on our way to having that living, breathing, organic world in franchise mode once again. Even adding more non-position specialty roles like the ones you see here, it could add a layer to playing as an owner, which is in desperate need of an overhaul. Things like team distraction, team mentor, fan favorite, injury prone, fumble prone, team leader. All of these would add to the overall depth and would be a welcome addition or return to the franchise mode. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you like this video, let me know. Hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, and I'll see you all soon.